time to tip things off here on Bench Points. As you can tell, things are a little bit different. Jake has been kicked out of his home, and he's having to live with my family at this point.
Basement dweller.
Yeah, that's right, truly. But no, Jake is in town visiting family, and so we figured we'd podcast together, and we miss old Sambo, our podcast sage, as he's holding things down and in the Hoosier state. And so we've got to go ahead and get started with bench behavior by popular demand, as some would say. I think we briefly just need to call this out. We don't have to dive it in because it's insane. But the Florida man, which the coach that slaps the LSU player, what are you doing? Ultimate trash.
How is he still employed?
I don't understand that
Still
either.
employed?
I would make him. I would give him the Lane Kiffin treatment, make him just not allow him back on the plane.
The Florida coaches in general, man, like you had the baseball coach at Coastal Carolina just berating some student managers that were taking care of the field.
Oh, I forgot
and he's
about
suspended
that.
for a decent chunk of the first part of the baseball season this year. And then you've got this jackass
I completely forgot about that.
smacking a player from the opposing team. Like, what is going on?
Well, they'll be getting a football coach when Miami beats them tomorrow night.
Yeah.
The 50s are alive in Florida, y'all.
Yeah.
Some good old-fashioned hard illegal discipline. served to you by your mentors, just like God intended.
That's right. That's that's some Old Testament stuff there. But well, I know we were going to kind of briefly hit on that, but one thing that I know for all three of us, we've been dying to talk to each other about, but we've saved it for the podcast, is the situation that's happening with Wofford and the basketball program right now. Jake, do you want to give a quick rundown of kind of what's happening for those that may not know about it?
I might not have 1,000% of the details.
I can feel it. We can feel it.
What happened is the transfer players didn't really want to live on campus, so they got some off-campus housing the coach helped them out with, and they were using their on-campus dining card, which I didn't know there was a difference between the two. I thought the dining card was a dining card. So they got between $84 and $104 worth of impermissible benefits, and they're all suspended. The coach is fired. This of all the things that is going on with NIL and guys catching $1 million checks. We're worried about $600 total dollars on a team that barely plays. Like, it makes it one round of the tournament, and that's it. Like, this feels like an absolute joke. That's why nobody can trust the NCAA and why college football left the NCAA. Like, for the championship and stuff, ridiculous rules and stuff like this that make zero sense.
But
how they're enforced.
I don't think the NCAA did this though.
But I think the school did this to get in front of the NCAA.
Oh, good point. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, it's not like the BYU and their personal code thing. This was we didn't want to get slapped by the NCAA, which is a toothless dog anyway at this point. And
right.
So they did this. If I was on that team and nothing got fixed in my 30-day window, I'm leaving because the school's not looking out for you. A fun part of this story, not that I want this to happen, is everybody on that team leaves, and they just put together an intramural all-star team and run them out there all year, which would be kind of fun. Very much like a Disney movie.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Definitely like a Disney movie.
Well, we got 3 guys on the bench right now
that will not be able to play.
No. I can get up and down the court for a shot clock position, and that's just about it.
I've got down the court. You got one possession out of me.
and what's crazy is that the benefits are supposed to be ranging from $84 to $108.
Yeah, so like $600 total dollars between the guys under suspension.
So here's the thing, guys. We live in a world where Bill Self still has a job, where Calipari still has a job. And one of the coaches that we've talked about with great praise, Patino, still has a job for some things that the NCAA got in front of and did some slap on the wrist stuff compared to what some of the other programs and coaches got. I mean, we've seen death sentences in the past and things like that. So this is just the most soft, ridiculous thing I've seen in college basketball since them talking about expanding the tournament for the 14th time. I mean, this is just insane. It's a good coach.
Yeah.
Runs a good program.
They were in the tournament last year.
It's
not like this.
They won their conference.
We're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're not talking about altering SAT scores for eligibility. We're not talking about having a season vacated. We're talking about kids going on campus and getting a good meal and just using their benefits slightly incorrectly. It is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Wofford should be ashamed of it. The NCAA should step in if they do anything. But like you said, they're a toothless dog. from a college basketball fan standpoint, this is heartbreaking and disappointing to say the least.
Look, the school with Fresno State had 3 guys. You can't tell me you don't notice 3 guys tanking performances out there as a coach.
Right.
Had nothing happen to the coach or the program, but the school Wolford here is gonna jump in front of the NCAA and like tank their program over $600. And I mean, okay, if you really wanted to do it, make them wash dishes at the freaking dining hall at whatever wage you pay your cafeteria workers until they make $600 back. Okay, fine. This is way overstepping the punishment does not meet the crime here.
This doesn't sound malicious either. This sounds like kids that might not have understood what they were doing. Like, this doesn't sound like
So the Wofford situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been reading on this again. This is just blowing my mind. But like the attorney, the representative here they were just like we didn't like the living arrangement, and we're just trying to go find a nicer place to hold
Right.
The school's in it. The school wants to take care of their players because they want to keep their players because they can bounce at any point for the most part. And I feel like it was very innocent. It wasn't sneaky. It wasn't malicious at all.
It wasn't a 18-year-old kid showing up his freshman year coming from a like rough neighborhood without a lot of money driving a Porsche or a Mercedes. This isn't that. This isn't blue chips.
Look, and we've all been to college. The caf food is not like if I'm going to cheat and get $100 worth of food, it's not the school cafeteria I'm going to.
Yeah. And a lot of times these kids are on meal plans too that like they're fed by the school really, really good, high protein, high high value meals, but like in this case, you're right. This is like your bulk eggs that they serve in the mornings. This is like that French toast that chemically is not food.
Hasn't been food for a while.
But I mean, it's got calories and it's got some nutritional value, I suppose, but it's also used on the outside of spaceships. So like, I mean, they're not eating like at the 5-star steakhouse here. This is just like your like walk down from your whatever lecture hall you just left if you went and pop in and grab a quick snack kind of thing, like half a dozen hard-boiled eggs or something like that. That's what these kids are suspended for. This is what the coach was fired for.
Like this shouldn't even be a story. Like we shouldn't even be talking about this.
No,
that's what's so.
No. If you're the coach, do you want that job back? Knowing your school is that quick with the trigger?
I would take the job back if they gave me a new AD and a new president.
I was about to say, I don't know.
I don't want the job.
Unless you're thinking about the kids' perspective, because there has been, based on the articles that I read, I'm looking at one now, ones I've read, all the players want to be back.
Yeah.
Like they love the coach. They're all in.
But as a coach, like
Joe's the coach, right?
I was about to say.
And just go take that job, bring your boys with you, and
that's like being the really important person at work, and then you get fired over a technicality, and then they realize how screwed they are without you, and they ask you back. Do you come back? You'd be like, yeah, double my salary, and then the person that let me go has got to be gone.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I thought of a lot of different things, but like it's like maybe there's more going on, and they're using this, and they were just trying to. This is just a reason to get rid of them, so it doesn't explode into something worse. Or the interim coach that's there is, that's somebody's buddy's son. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, there's been worse thing crazier situations, but this one, this is a big one.
Yeah, this seems so benign for somebody to lose their job over right now.
It is we're probably missing a portion of the story that justifies all this, and we'll issue an apology if we find out that the coach of Wofford is running an underground prostitution ring with Dalmatians.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes sense.
Yeah, but I think at this point with the information that's available, this is bench behavior. This is like, y'all need to get your shit right because this is absurd.
This is bench behavior Hall of Fame worthy, I think.
Yeah.
This is going up on the wall.
Yeah, this goes on the wall for sure. Yeah, I was going to say, I got space on this one. But yeah, no, that's definitely a crazy situation. I hope we don't hear anything more that comes out because, I mean, I think Wofford's always been a fun program. And I never want to see them in a tournament ever.
No.
And so for any of my teams, but you never can count them out, I feel like. But
right. This year you can.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you probably you probably make some money off of that team technically by just betting them to get blown out constantly where the lines are.
Yeah.
But as we move into the counterpart of bench behavior is standing O, and these are really cool stories. I'm stoked about them. The first one is Lamar Wilkerson. Jake, you want to tell us a little bit about that story?
This story needs to be sung from everywhere. This dude, it did not get enough national love, at least from what I caught. My man came from Sam Houston State, transferred in, and all this happened after he transferred in. He gives a six-figure donation back to the school from what they did to develop him. And that's massive because I don't know the kid's family, but I don't know too many families out there in the world that are able to do six-figure donations, and he turned around and did that to the school that helped him get to where he's at, and he's going to be making plenty more at IU. That's a very good counter image to what seemed the kind of guys that Woodson was bringing in. As this seems like DeVries brought in a very solid character guy that's a very good basketball player, and that's just like that needs more love because like if these small schools are going to be just practice grounds for the big schools, if you see some more stuff like this, then that's going to raise the level of play everywhere.
Well, and I want to pull a Sam here, okay? Because to play the devil's advocate to that point, I kind of feel like, what do you think his teammates think of that decision? Sam Houston State,
Yeah,
that's not a threat. Obviously, they're not going to. He didn't pay Michigan.
Yeah. Now, he's not paying another Big Ten school. And the other thing about this is you got to think about this from an IU player perspective. None of these guys know each other. Like they're all brand new teammates with each other. I mean, this is nobody is a returning IU player. So there's like no like ingrained system with these players in IU. It's in my opinion, like if I'm another player that came from, what we talk about, the mid-major all-star IU basketball team, right? If I'm another player from a mid-major, I'm taking a page out of this book and be like, look, if Drake developed me, if Sam Houston, if USF, if it was San Diego State, if it was St. Mary's, the school of the blind and poor, right, Jake? Like, this is the page I'm taking out. But this is like a class act by a kid going to a program that I really like have kind of fallen off on over the course of the last like 5 or 6 years. And this is kind of making me root for Lamar a little bit. Like this is kind of like, I'm going to watch Indiana a little bit differently now because of the integrity of this kid. This isn't the Woodson era where he brings in a whole bunch of NBA wannabes that just do not make it work on the court. Now, DeVries has still got a lot to prove and a lot to work on over the course of this year and next. But to me, this is a sign of a turning ship. This is an integrity move by an integrity guy. And like, I like this a lot, so, like, God, it pains me to say it, but like Hoosiers right here, man, this is it. Like, this is a cool move.
Yeah. I mean, they probably invested at least that, if not more, into him as well. Like, I don't know the exact figure he gave to them, but between practice, food, and travel, and
Yeah.
years and all that, they've invested at least that Houston did over how many years he played there. So that that's just it's a story that needs to be praised more. And I hope like there's some stories you will hear all throughout the year over and over and over every time a team plays. This one I'm not gonna be mad at. Like I'll be like, yeah, no, cool story. I hope IU loses 70-82, but I hope Lamar has 69 of them.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep, and I think I'd like to see this copy and pasted throughout all college basketball. Like if you're coming from, like I would like to see like a story come out about Ben Sturts donating back to Drake, even though Iowa is like pretty much pillaged Drake. So, but the like stories like that are cool, and it's like that like these college athletes, it's a different era. They're getting paid. They have more money than they ever dreamt of having. Even if they're not going pro, this is life-changing money, and that's a sacrifice, and that's a class move, and I like that a lot. So, standing no.
Now, this next one, you may have heard about this guy before on our podcast or others, but if you haven't, you need to crawl out of that rock and get back with us on this planet. And Braden Smith deserves a standing O for his decision to stay at Purdue with what's starting to come out about the kind of NIL money that he was offered, but he still stayed true to the Boilermakers, which is pretty awesome considering some of those numbers are being thrown around. Sam, what have you heard about that situation?
So I watch all the Purdue YouTube videos, the Brags in the Stands. I watch Sleepers quite a bit. Shout out to Craig. Uh, still a little iffy on Cart sometimes. You watch Hammer. I'm a big Field of 68 guy. DTF is one of my favorites. But I was watching, they were over at Mackey this weekend and they were talking to Braden Smith. And just kind of interviewing him, talking about like why he stayed, all that stuff. And they talk about culture and they talk about Matt Painter and all that stuff. But the numbers that were coming out around Braden Smith, and this started like right at the end of the tournament. They were hearing figures of like 5 million here, 6 million here, 7 million over at Kentucky. Comes out that USC reportedly offered 8.25 million to Braden Smith for him to come be the point guard over at USC. Now, I don't know what sweetheart deal that Braden Smith has in West Lafayette. I know he's one of the highest selling NIL like merch guys in college basketball, but he's staying at Purdue for reportedly half of what USC was offering. I mean, that's still not chump change, right? But to me, this is a guy that he started off at Purdue, not even a top 300 recruit. Paint saw something in this guy, gave him a shot when nobody else was giving him. I think his highest offer was like Belmont or something like that, right? This guy comes in, gets a look from Paint, is now potentially going to be one of the greatest point guards that we've ever seen in our lifetime and in college basketball history. If he has the season that he's projected to, he's going to set some crazy records. He's going to be the best point guard in Big Ten, dating all the way back to Magic. And there's going to be some debate there too, probably, because it's two completely different styles of play. And this guy cut his salary in half to be at Purdue. And look, I believe black and gold. I wouldn't have blamed him if he would have left. It would have been heartbreaking. But it's really cool to see a program in 2025 graduate 3 guys. 2 of them are All-Americans, and one of them has started every game that he's been in a Purdue uniform. Really, really cool what's happening in that program. Really, really good for college basketball to see 2 kids from Indiana on opposite sides of the spectrum, right? You got IU and their fan base and Purdue and their fan base and the hatred that these 2 teams seem to have for each other, right? Coming from the same state doing integrity moves like this, it's really, really good for the sport. It's good for Indiana. I just love seeing it.
Yeah, getting players to stay nowadays is just an unreal challenge. I mean, we've seen coaches quit and leave over like Tony Bennett and Jay Wright.
Yep.
Like they didn't want to have to recruit their own roster and recruit the next roster while trying to still prep for the season. They were just like, won my championships, I'm good. Let's check out. Painter didn't do that. And he's obviously got the players are all for him, because turning down $4 million at like, if we're honest, Braden Smith's not an NBA player. There's not an NBA prospect really there. He might skate into a roster spot, but it's never going to be consistent, and he'll be bounced around on this team for whatever. So turning down $4 million is crazy. And the fact that he did that to stay at Purdue is just impressive. It makes me love the guy even more. And I'm just happy to see just some school loyalty there. I feel like he's the kind of guy that was just never going to like IU too. Like he's just black and gold through and through.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's never ever like it's going to be 30 years from now he's going to retire and his kid's going to be talking about IU. He's like, no, get out of my kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what the rumor is?
What's that?
That IU's not really on his radar as teams to hate. It's Iowa. He hates Iowa.
Makes sense.
There's the rumor that he and the Iowa fans in the past 3 years have done more chirping at each other than he's done at any other school.
Makes it. Oh yeah. So
Interesting.
replace what I just said with Iowa.
It's just fun.
He's just going to
Fact, right?
Hawkeye printed toilet paper that he's wiping his ass with as he's going. Like it's going to be one of those things, and I love it. It's great for the sport. More guys that stay around for 4 years and stay at one school is great for the sport. It gets us back to like my favorite days with like JJ Redick and that time frame, and Tyler Hansborough and all that. Like that time of college basketball was incredible because you had guys staying forever. You had your stars staying, and you had stars returning, and you had something to like actually advertise with, and not, hey, here's our transfer portal class. We've got this guy that averaged 20 points over here and 30 over there, and hopefully we can get them to share the basketball.
Breeze episode.
Yeah.
Was that last week? Was that the last week episode?
Couple weeks, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that we're talking about the Hansborough days, where there was that hatred. We just hate a player, and there was that rival, but because they're there for 4 years, this kind of, ever since, I don't know, one of you made that comment or pointed that out, and it just bothered me so bad because I never really thought about it like that.
You gotta have
And
somebody.
it hurt, like it hurt me. But this gives me like hope, like there's like faith in the humanity of college basketball a little bit. Like to see Braden Smith being like completely dedicated to his team, his school. Of course, he's never had to pay for anything in West Lafayette for the rest of his life. So he's going to exist for free.
Well, if he drives a Kia too fast, he's going to get pulled over. I got a quick multiple choice question for you guys. Like, what do you think it's more of Braden Smith staying at Purdue? A, Coach Matt Painter and the culture he's built at Purdue, or B, Braden Smith legit thinks Purdue has a shot at the national title and is like, I'm sticking around regardless of what money is offered at me because he's got that winner mentality and wants for that national title that slipped through the fingers a couple years ago.
I still think he wants to start over again.
Well,
I think he's comfortable with it.
When you throw Kentucky out there, like you're looking at a loaded roster there that's going to have all the resources. So if it was just the national championship thing, not that USC I wouldn't have ever considered USC, but I'm sure there were some other teams out there of like top-notch programs that were putting out feelers. They might not have made an offer,
Sure,
because he may have just said no. So I don't know that it was just the title. I think it's Purdue in general. Like Matt Painter's a big chunk of that. The fan base, there's a big chunk of that. The fact that TKR and Foster Lawyer is still there.
Foster?
Yeah, him. Fletcher. Yep. Whatever.
I know.
I'm not a Purdue fan
all the time.
Everybody's roster. Like he's got guys that he came in with that are still there. I got them their first Final Four, and that really counts.
Yeah.
One was like in 1812.
Yeah.
But
right after the board.
Yeah. but I think there's that part plays a chunk of it, but it wasn't just the national championship part, because he probably, I mean, if Kentucky's offering, that means there's probably Kansas, Duke weren't too far behind. They just might not have made an official offer to him, or any other top tier program that had. There was rumors Tennessee was going after it too.
The rumor from Tennessee was like 4.5, 5.
So I don't know, that money probably got transferred over to Gillespie, but but there was, they probably put the feelers. There's probably a ton of feelers out there from those big schools that we're just not hearing about right now.
He could have used that Grant Williams donation.
Yeah,
but he made.
Yeah, would have been nice.
But one thing I was looking at for Braden Smith, like I also think he's probably got more records that he's probably nearing to be able to break.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem like a guy that's thinking about that necessarily, but he's going to be he already is, but he's going to be like a Peyton Manning like legend for the.
Yeah, at Purdue for sure. He's going to be he'll be, well, he's an All-American first team, so he's going to go up in the rafters at the end of this year. There's no question about that. Whether he gets a 1 or 2 star, it's really depending on this season, which I think he's going to wind up a 2-star. But yeah, he is like, he will be in the Hall of Fame echelons of heroics of Purdue basketball. And I know they're bought in. Like you listen to these players' interviews, like Field of 68 did a fantastic job, and they went to IU like either the day before or the day after, and they did a really good interview there too. But the difference, like in the tone of the conversation, is like these players are bought in on the fact that they can be national champions. I'm bought in. Like, I'm not an optimistic Purdue fan. Like, I know I'm talking to the only 210s I see right now over there in Knoxville, but like it's hard for a Purdue fan to be like 100% all in on a team. And I was there in 2023. Last year was like, we'll see what happens. I think this year I'm bought into, like, listening to Braden Smith talk, listen to Painter talk, listen to Fletch, listen to TKR. Omer had a good interview the other day where him and Braden were talking about Braden playing off ball a little bit. I think that might have been a part of him staying ultimately, even though that happened like well after the decision was made. I think, I think it's Painter's a big part of this, but I personally think, like, based on everything I know about Braden Smith, that dude wants to win a title and he wants to win it in West Lafayette.
Yeah, he's got a shot to do it. His best chance at it. The complete team.
Yeah. So standing up.
Yes. Yes. That's right. Very much deserved, no doubt about it. So let's move into kind of our bulk topic for tonight. We're gonna do a little conference basketball draft. And we're gonna kind of go through. Actually, Jake, want to explain the rules? I need to make a note here. How this order's gonna go.
So what we're going to do is we're each going to draft 5 teams, best overall win-loss record wins, but it's not about who wins. It's about what we get to make you wear on the next show after we figure out who loses. This is regular season only. So it's the rules are 1 team per conference. You can't just like load up on SEC teams or Big Ten teams. You got to do 1 from each of the Power 4. So like ACC, SEC, Big East, a Big 12, and then a mid-major squad. So, that last one's going to be a kicker because, like, whoever doesn't get Gonzaga that's going to go 90-2 this year is got a lot of work to do.
There's some strategy behind picking these mid-majors because some of them are going to run the table up until they hit tournament time.
Yep.
Like if you choose correctly, if you go to like the the Oregon Trail Conference of
It's like the overseas league.
Like there's a chance you could find a sleeper in there.
I mean, somebody goes 25-2 or something like that, but
And
we'll see.
And we did a random drawing, and it's gonna be Sam,
You than me.
okay.
It's going to be a snake draft.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So I will be coming up with 2 on the spot. That'll be great. Love it because I'm so prepared for this.
So prepared. We are professional podcast people. And you know who else is a great professional company? Winware. Winware, those guys are awesome. I know we keep talking about them. And guess what? We're going to continue doing so. Go check out their website. They've got so many different things. Polos. I saw a polo earlier that I really like.
Yeah.
And pullovers, stuff you wear to work, stuff you wear to the game. Put your money where your mouth is. Wear your pick with pride.
I was so ready to wear the Tennessee Moneyline shirt for this. And then Gilbert missed the kick.
Difficult times.
Yeah.
Still positive though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of season left. We played well, but that was.
I wore my gold jersey to the gym the other day, and after 2 up and downs on the court, as they were calling my ambulance, I did get a compliment. It was like, "Hey, we don't think you got to make it, but that's a hell of a jersey." Thank you. Bury me in it. Bury me in my Winware.
And you just shared, and also when you do share, and when we tell people, when people ask us about what we wear, what promo code did they use?
Bench points, all one word.
Yep. All one word. And the website is?
winwearapparel.com.
I forget the apparel part sometimes. I'm not going to lie.
I just Google Winwear.
Yeah, Winwear, it'll be there. It'll be there.
Do they have a slogan yet? It needs to be "Bury me in my Winwear."
Yeah. I'll run it up. I'll run the flag up the pole.
See what happens.
All right, let's kick things off. Any preference of what conference you want to start out with, or are we just ready to roll?
I think you just pick from whatever conference you want to. You don't have to.
Yeah. You take your number one. You ride your horse.
Yeah. Do we need to rerun the rules for you here, Brad?
Brad, cause I'm going first. You'll be in trouble.
Per conference.
Oh, okay.
So it does not matter.
Oh. 10-4. Gotcha.
Yep. Okay.
Gotcha. Sorry.
All right. Very prepared. We're all over it.
Yes, your facilitator is not doing very well at the moment. Well, yeah, Sam, you have the honors to go and shake the commissioner's hand first.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I don't think there's going to be any surprise here. I'm going to go ahead and pick who I believe is going to be the future national champions.
Purdue Moneyline.
Basketball. What was that?
I was like Winware, Purdue Moneyline.
Yeah. You give me a Purdue Moneyline shirt, I'll buy 10 of them. Put it on a hoodie, I'll buy 3. I'm going to go with the Purdue Boilermakers. I think there are 2025, 2026 national champions. This is a horse I'm going to ride. I believe black and gold. Big Boiler fan. Shout out to the folks in Kentucky. We'll see at the scrimmage, which, by the way, is like just about a month away.
Yep.
So guys, get excited. Circle your calendars. It's coming. But yeah, I'm locking in. Braden Smith, TKR, All-Americans. I think Fletcher Laurie is going to have a good year. I think Omar Meyer is going to help Braden Smith get off the ball a little bit. I think they have one of the best benches in the country. Like I said, I think they could do line shifts. This is a team I'm going to ride start to finish. This is my number 1 overall pick.
Look, Brad's trying to act like he's super prepared here. Brings out the pen and the notepad like he's going to scratch Purdue off. Like
I literally put because I picked like 3 different teams from each conference, and I know which ones are going to be
if you're up next,
done.
then
So,
prepare.
well, I'm going with Houston.
That's bold.
I'm going with Houston. I think Chris Sinak is going to be very fun to watch, and this just gives me more of an incentive to watch it play. To be honest with you, and Kelvin Sampson's due one.
Postseason doesn't matter. This is all regular.
I know, but they're going to be rolling.
Y'all are dropping the ball like crazy here.
I feel like they're going to be. I think they're going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to come in there hot. I like where they're going.
Look, y'all dropping the ball like crazy. Look, I'm going to pick my first one from the Power Conference. I'm going to go from the ACC. I'm going to pick Duke because the ACC is weak. Their non-conference schedule is a little crazy, so I might get hurt there. But I think they're going to plow through that conference, and which is absolutely going to up the win total here. This is not about picking the best teams. This is about picking who's going to have the highest win total. So I want those easy games coming through late March or late January, February, March, and I just want my win total up, 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 and up. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and steal Gonzaga. I'm just going to do that and grab my mid-major one that I don't have to think about. It plays in a conference of high school teams. So once I get past December, I'm just counting wins there.
All right. Well, that's a pretty good strategic pick. Not gonna lie.
Y'all not using your head. You got to use your head here.
That's right. Well, doing it that way then.
See, already threw Brad off his head. Already. He's in shambles. He's in shambles. He doesn't know where to go now.
I mean, I'm on the bench for the reason of this right here. I'm gonna go with Florida.
There we go.
It's a hell of a pick.
Because even though that is gross, I need to wash that down. I think they're going to be the most. They're going to give Purdue the most run for their money if that ends up becoming the game. Which, if that's the national championship,
oh my god, that's cinema.
That'll be a moment. Like I will make my son watch. Like you. I'm not letting.
No, you'll be coming up to Indy.
Yeah.
We'll come up to Indy for that.
He would be there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have a place to stay.
That'd be incredible. But yeah. I think it'd be Florida, and now I mean, they shouldn't be very, very tough to beat, even in the SEC. Like I think they're kind of leaps and bounds better than their schedule.
Look, I'm not second guessing you. I think Florida's good, but you picked the 2 hardest conferences off the bat.
I know. Listen, I'm just
going to get you got some makeup to do.
All right, I'm going to stick with my my Power 5 here, or Power 4. Really, I'm going to go with UConn. I think that it's very top heavy Big East. So you want to get that 1 or 2 pick early. So I'm going to go ahead and take UConn. I think they have national title potential. I think they got a great class. They got Braylon Mullins. They got Solo Ball. And I just believe in Hurley, and I believe in what that program's done over the course of the last few years. Like I said, I think we talked about this at length like 3 or 4 times. They were like a 5-minute meltdown away from being the national title, the champions last year, and having a chance to three-peat. So they have a very tough non-con, but they do not have a tough conference schedule. Part of the reason I picked Purdue earlier is because their conference schedule actually breaks pretty well. And I think realistically, if they're as good as everybody says they are, they're going to do a pretty decent job in their non-con. I actually think they have a chance to sweep their non-con, which they did like 3 or 4 years in a row, which was crazy. I think UConn could do the same. I think they could. St. John's is going to be their major competition in the Big East. And if they split and they take care of business everywhere else, that's a hell of a win total. And then because Jake obviously took the power move with Duke and the ACC,
win the game.
ACC is not very talent friendly. I'm going to go with Louisville. I think Louisville's got a favorable non-con, and I think when they get into the conference schedule, there's a lot of wins there and a lot of potential, a lot of high seeding potential with Louisville. So right now my 3 are Purdue, UConn, and Louisville.
Brad, where are we going now?
St. John's. But
catching on. He's catching
on. Patino we trust. Whether it's Applebee's or Denny's, hide your wife, hide your kids. I shouldn't say that. We should clip that out. At least hide your wife, your sister, maybe your cousin. But Patino knows ball. We've talked about it at times, so I'm not going to go into it a lot. But honestly, I feel like you all have taught me more about St. John's and have made this a lot easier for me to understand. They really they kind of can control their own destiny outside of UConn.
Yeah.
They really they don't, they can kind of do what they want. They can really go as far. The ceiling is as far as they want to take it. So that's my pick.
I mean, shout out to I lost his name that commented, let us know that St. John's UConn is heated. And so I can't wait to dig into that, especially this year. Because two major programs not that far apart. So thank you for letting us know, because I cannot wait to dig into that.
Yeah.
But so to add to my powerhouse team of Duke and Gonzaga, let's see, I am going to go to the Big East, I guess, and take Marquette. Because that's the only other team with a pull. No, I'd strike it. I'm taking Creighton. Taking Creighton. I think
I was going to say, like, Marquette or Creighton.
Yeah, it's the only other team with a pulse. I'm gonna take the very eastern state of Iowa, because that's where Creighton is. Use a little travel to my advantage. Maybe win some more home games than what they should. So we're gonna do that. Then let's see. Ride with the horse that rode in. Right. Here we go with Tennessee. We're gonna take Tennessee. We're gonna make Rick Barnes show me something in SEC play that there's a lot of question marks that we had. We've gone to this deep, like before. The team's brand new, losing player like Vescovi a couple years ago, and then also Ziegler now, and everybody else off the team, no Triple J, nothing like that. So a lot of question marks with this team, but the talent's definitely there. We'll see what happens. If we can sneak a few wins out of the SEC, it'd be great.
I was gonna tell you, I passed a name I met on the road the other day.
Hey,
Yeah,
big dude.
yeah, very big dude. He was like I can't remember, some like SUV. Wasn't a Kia though. So we're already heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
But he is he sits. I feel like he's one of those guys that had like a long torso, like and he's got a fro. I mean, he was up against the ceiling, of this vehicle, and he's very broad shouldered. That's what when your dad saying something that he saw him?
Dad ushers out at the baseball games and whatnot here, and said the basketball team was coming out and said he just looks built different.
Yeah.
As a 18, 19-year-old kid, however old he is, he looks like he's built different.
That's awesome. Okay, since Jake's playing in my head a little bit here, it is my turn, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go San Diego State.
Yeah, take that one off my list.
For mainly the reasons that because they're gonna win the majority of their games, because they don't actually, I don't know, their non-con wasn't.
I mean, there's the players there. That's going to be tough. And the Mountain West isn't something to joke about. Like, it's a decent conference, but it's not as
good as it
has been this year. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of leagues on that schedule.
And very well coached.
Yes.
They know what they're doing. They're established. San Diego.
So we're taking one team from each power conference school, right? And then one mid-major. So I'm going to stick with the powers. I'm going to take Texas Tech.
That was...
So taking Texas Tech, National Player of the Year candidate and Toppin. Tough schedule, especially in the non-con. Big 12 is not going to be super easy, but I do think that they're better in Kansas. And I think that they have higher ceiling there. They were fun to watch last year, and I think they're going to be fun to watch this year. So I'm taking them. I'm going to ride them. And then this one's going to make me throw up in my mouth a little bit. We're sticking with the SEC. Oh, God, let me take one more look at this before I make this call.
The big brand we've left out.
The schedule does not favor them in the sense that there is a ton of wins here without little chance of losses, but I've got to take Mark Pope's Kentucky Wildcats. I'm going strictly off the name and the brand here. But, I mean, they've got a tough non-con. They've got a tough conference. The SEC is going to be an absolute gauntlet this year, but we have to take a team. So if I'm looking at who my top teams in the SEC are, unfortunately, Tennessee, which was my top choice there, because I think they're the dark horse, even though you guys don't believe them in the way I do, and I'm not even the Tennessee fan of the group. But thanks, Jake, for taking them. I'm going to go with Kentucky. I'm going to ride them. So I've got Purdue in my Big Ten. I've got Louisville in my ACC. I've got Texas Tech in my Big 12. Kentucky in my SEC, and UConn in my Big East.
Now you got to dig deep to find a mid-major out there.
I know exactly who my mid-major is, and like oddly enough, it hasn't been picked yet.
It's yours because I've already got mine and Brent.
Yeah. So I haven't had my Big Ten pick, and I feel like I've kind of I've kind of been on the train with them. Michigan State, I think they're going to ride Tom Izzo. They want to put, carry him out on their shoulders. This very well could be it for him. And I think that they want him to go out on top. And I actually think their schedule's not terrible either.
It's not terrible, but it's not particularly great either. And they lost their best player into injury, or one of their top
All
players.
picks are final. No taking. No.
Oh gosh, I didn't know that.
I'll let you repick it if you.
No.
No.
I'll own it.
Okay.
I'll own it. I'll stick with it.
You got with the notebook, Carrie.
Yeah. Making notes, taking names.
All right. So my Big Ten, I'm going to take Michigan.
Yeah.
Because I've been very high on them, Dusty May, everything like that. I think the schedule is not what I would prefer here, but enough talent on the team. Parts of the Big Ten are weak. I think they'll rack up some wins there, and maybe still a few that they shouldn't. Hopefully do well enough in the non-conference. I'm worried about the players there and starting off in a hole there, but we'll see how it works. So that gives me Big Ten, Michigan, ACC, Duke, SEC, Tennessee, Mid-Major, Gonzaga, Big East with Creighton. I'm clear, right? 5? Yeah.
Hold on. Repeat that list.
Big 12. Big 12. Yeah. Let's see.
Are you going to have to say it? Are you going to have to do it?
No, I will not say that word.
Are you going to have to do it?
I will eat something like BYU before that.
I was worried. I was like, no, I want to hear the words come out of your mouth.
I'm gonna take Iowa State. Home court, big talent there.
Hilton Coliseum, baby.
Great coach. I think I just stole Brad's. I think he thought that was him.
No, I picked Houston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got the.
Yep. So I feel very good about my squad there.
I'm surprised. I thought we were going to go with Arizona.
I wanted to. I did. But
my boy, Walker.
Was it the court?
Yeah.
That's 3 losses.
You play to win the game. Right now, if we were putting odds behind these,
yeah,
and I would definitely be jumping on Arizona with the odds. But I'm gonna stick safe here with Iowa State. I mean, that's that red and yellow McDonald's colors there.
Yes, his very McDonald's colors. I love it. All right, so I have left is the ACC.
Are you gonna have to say it? Live it down with our boy.
Who do you got so far, Brad?
Okay, San Diego State for mid-major. SEC, Florida, Big 10, Michigan State, Big 12, Houston, Big East, St. John's.
There's an obvious one here. I'm curious if you're going to get to it.
Clemson?
Is that your pick?
Hey, that's my pick.
What'd you pick?
Clemson. Who am I missing?
There's an NC State there.
The second best team in North Carolina.
But I feel like there's more coming back from Clemson. They have more returners than NC State. I think they'll be better, but not enough to put my draft.
I don't know if Clemson's going to make the tournament.
Really?
Yeah. Look, I'm not sold on Clemson.
I'm gonna give him a read. If he wants to double down, then hey,
if you want to,
here's the best part.
I don't want to double down on this one. I've already doubled down on once. But listen, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I did do research on this one.
Look, I mean, there may be more to Clemson than what me and Sam think, but I don't see it.
You know what? I would actually, if he takes this and Clemson like kills it this year, you and I both have to wear a jersey of Brad's choice.
Yeah. Well, no, we have to go get a Bill Self jersey. That's what that turns out to be. Or no, we got to make a contribution to the NIL for Kansas.
Yeah.
If you go,
I can spare $7.
Yeah, and you win this, we will donate to Kansas's NIL somehow, some way.
That's pretty funny. I kind of wanted to see that happen, but I literally read something earlier. It was. I did kind of do something fun to see if North Carolina just pull something out of their ass. I mean, there's something fun about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't that bold.
I mean, if you listen to their boy talk, he's ready.
Oh, he's all, yeah. Well, he can talk. No, that's about it. Which he's probably what he's going to be doing after the season.
But people like Miami too. It's a big question mark for me.
I liked Miami, and you, Jake, you came after me for liking Miami.
I don't like it. I don't think Jai Lucas is the guy there. Not a big fan of what they have coming in. I mean, your big guys, Malik Renault, who barely
Right.
the jump shot at IU last year, and scored points because somebody had to score points on that floor. So I think he's overblown. I'm just saying, people like them. People like Sam like it, not me. I mean, you can always pick Florida State, who also hired a coach out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Was a developed like a analytics guy for the NBA. I'm sure that's going to go well.
He reminds me of the Dolphins coach.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that same sort of
Yeah.
style.
I keep wanting to say his name is Luke Herringody, but I know that's not true.
But Herringotty's a fun one.
Yeah. A great Notre Dame basketball player.
I'm gonna change. Y'all, I appreciate it. I'll do NC State.
I think that's the wise choice. However, like
It would be fun.
Well, we'll put this out here. If Clemson finishes above third,
yeah,
we'll do something wild for that.
Yeah, we'll replay this.
Yeah, we'll replay
in
this.
black and white, and then with the slow violin music, and then we'll issue our apology to Brad and make our public donation to Kansas basketball.
But what about Virginia?
I would like that pick.
Yeah,
the transfer class, very, very good. Ryan Odom, great coach. I'm a big believer, but he's got to do it again before we want to trust him with a brand new team. And he's also Virginia. Just like I'm not sure what he had left in the cupboard there too. So, and his best returning player possible is playing at Louisville now. He's also got to fight through a pretty decent schedule to like because they're just going to grab Duke, Louisville, North Carolina, like all, those teams. I can't remember where they play at. And I think he plays one of them twice, so it's not a great conference schedules. I'm not going to pretend that I know their non-conference schedule, so there could be a lot of easy wins there that were if you don't take Virginia, that's you're leaving on the table. But I don't know for sure. I know Ryan Hammer is a big proponent of Virginia.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's high on Virginia right now.
Okay. All right. So, but I am gonna go. I'm gonna stay with NC State though.
All right, NC State.
So who's your 5?
San Diego State, Florida, Michigan State, Houston, St. John's, and NC State.
Gotcha. All right. So rounding off mine, I'm going to go with my mid-major, and you guys probably don't see this coming, but it was my third choice, and it goes head to head with a couple of your guys' kind of like high on mid-major teams. I'm going with Boise State.
That's one of the ones I picked on. Yeah.
I mean,
so
I'm a fan of that coach. I think he underperforms, but that's me.
He's been in 3 of the last 4 NCAA tournaments. They haven't won a game in the tournament, but
the tournaments don't matter.
We just want to get there. So I think Boise State, with the schedule that they got, the team that they've got, the kind of program that they're building, I think they're like in that like borderline trying to be a power team, but not quite there yet. Kind of like San Diego State is and Gonzaga is. So I'm gonna ride Boise State this year. So my 5: Purdue from the Big Ten, UConn Big East, Louisville from the ACC, Texas Tech Big 12. Kentucky from the SEC, and then we got Boise State from the Mountain West.
Yeah. Not that I want to go back and redo this, but we keep saying 5 and we'll list it off 6 teams.
Well, the Power 5. The Power 5. I think we
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Edit that. Do the voiceover where I go 6. No, we'll just let the internet tear us apart again. Let's let the internet tear us apart like they usually do.
If you can come up with a better 5/6, let us know. Comment it below.
Well, I think the starting 5 here clearly is the power conference. Even though you guys picked your mids super early, which don't blame you.
I think the mid majors we're going to rack up all the wins.
Yeah.
If we get a good one of theirs, they're getting in the conference play. It should just that should be your constant baseline of keep at least get one win.
No, let's go ahead and establish now what the punishment for the loser is, just so that anybody who's watching this can know, so they can call us out when we don't do it.
I love the idea of making somebody contribute to their rivals, and I think
Well, it's funny. I had a thought earlier about having to like write a like handwrite a note to send to either a coach you hate or the person.
Ooh, I like that too.
Um,
We should do that and close it like a $10 check.
yeah.
Well, I think we should record the note, and it's got to have like a certain like
Yeah.
it's got to be approved by the other 2, and it's got to include the words, "I am thankful for everything that you do." And it's got to have love in there at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, the other two write the script.
The other two write the scripts. Yep.
And while you're reading it, you have to wear something of that team's gear, like whether it's a hat, hoodie, shirt, scarf.
So obviously, for me, it's either going to be Kansas or North Carolina. Probably Kansas for this, or possibly even Arkansas. We can do that too. We can just if we're talking about Cal, but
Or Kansas.
or Kansas. Who like one of those three would be mine. Brad, who would you be sending your love note to?
Kentucky. Probably probably Kentucky and Florida. I would probably keep the SEC on that one. If I had to pick something out, I know outside of it, it would be Duke.
See,
Don love.
Yeah.
in my mind, when I win and you guys have a tied record for last, my ideal letter would be just a repeat of the last 3 minutes of the Purdue-Tennessee game
That's just
in the Elite Eight, specifically when Zach blocks Dalton Connect,
Yeah.
and you guys talk about how great Zach is and how he's not a foul merchant.
Yeah.
I believe my letter, like we could say IU, but as much of a Purdue fan as I am, which I'm a massive Purdue fan, Megan, you get your shout out, girl. Go FTU. Anyway, like I don't hate IU. Like I said, I went to Bobby Knight basketball camps. I grew up an IU fan. I got the IU haircut off the calendar, right? So it would have to be Kansas for me, 100%. Heartfelt letter to Bill Self. Talking about how much I respect his entire coaching tenure and
never did anything wrong.
Yeah. Or it would have to be like writing a letter to Kentucky, but pretending it's the Calipari era.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Make it Arkansas. Dude.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't have hate for Arkansas, but yeah, I'd do it. I'd do it.
Right. Congratulations, Kansas or Kentucky and Arkansas. You're getting at least a $10 donation
Yeah.
for next year from somebody.
Mike, what is the preferred currency of our donation? Is it cash, check? Can I use like an old Applebee's gift card? I've got a
Can I use my
50% off oil change coupon I can send them. I know that would get the Wofford team fired.
I kind of think like a check would be fun to see if they actually cash it.
Yeah, that would be
Like if they actually
cash
accept
check,
it.
Yeah,
It would be pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
I might include my Dave and Buster's card as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we'll black out the numbers from our writing, but we'll snap the check on the camera.
Yeah, this will be great.
Yeah, I like this.
It's going to be terrible.
Hey, if I'm donating to a state school, is that 503C and I can write that off on my
But they write it off.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, listen, I know for these guys, I think coach is going to give them a chance to come and clean things up because we were getting actually manhandled out there. I don't think coach wants me on the court after my performance on the bench today. So these guys are going to go in and clean it up and make it work. So it's time for the starting five to take a breather. It's time for these guys to get in there and do the dirty work.
Just take the air out of the ball.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Check
Thanks
it.
for watching.
See you next blow up.
And if you made it this far, you're already part of the bench mob. So hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more chaos. Bench Points is on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you pretend to know ball.